Hey everybody, happy Saturday. It's Jasvinder and welcome back to your daily dose of wisdom, motivation, and inspiration. First of all, how's everybody doing? So let me know, guys. Want to hear from you where everyone is tuning in from. We got Burak Gers. I'm probably butchering your pronunciation. Where are you from, man? Okay, well, we'll see if we write in. So, anyway, guys, the quote from today, what we're talking about, as you see in the tagline, loving yourself, right? So, today's quote comes from one of my favorite teachers, Brian Tracy, and something that he's famous for saying is that the number one determinant of your success in business and in life is how much you like yourself. So think about that for a second. Most people think that their success in life has to do with their skills at their profession or their education or all kinds of things like that. The kind of family they grew up in, the neighborhood they grew up in, your effort. But really, what Brian is saying is that how much you like yourself is the number one determinant of how well things are going to work out for you. We're going to get into exactly why that is and why so few people really love themselves at the end of the day, which of course is very sad. And hopefully by the end of this program, we're going to get some clarity on this and some practical techniques to make some headway in this area. So first of all, I think we can agree that love is its own reward, right? You don't have to justify why you want to have more love in your life, right? Things like love, harmony, peace, beauty, truth. These things are ends in themselves. These are the fruits of all the work that we do is to promote these things in the world. Everyone says, you have to love yourself, you have to be nice to yourself, but why is it so hard to do? And why do so few people really do that? Well, the explanation is actually pretty simple. Let's put it this way. When you love somebody, how do you feel towards them? You want to be around them all the time, right? Isn't that true? So if you want to love yourself, the reason why most people don't is because they never spend time with themselves. It's very simple. You spend your time with other people. You live through the world of your senses, and what that means is that most people are looking to others for their identity. They go out in the world looking for other people to love and to love them. They let other people tell them who they are, if they're funny enough, if they're smart enough, if they're good looking enough, if they're accomplished enough. We always look to other people to validate this. We look for even just looking at things like your salary, your circle of friends, who you're in a relationship with. All these things are outer signs. And when you try to fill yourself emotionally with these things, what happens is you're giving your attention to them. It's true, but at the end of the day, you're actually neglecting your own self. You have yet to spend time with yourself, and I can prove this to you because when you're all alone, what do? Are you on the phone? Are you texting? Are you playing games? Are you reading? Are you listening to music? Are you fidgeting around looking for things to do like cleaning if there's really nobody around at all? So all of those activities, again, are giving your attention to other people or to other activities, but you're never getting it inwards. You're looking around, listening, doing, busying yourself. And at the end of the day, you're still not giving that time to your own self. You're sort of a mystery to yourself still. So what happens is that your own self, your soul, if you want to talk about it that way, feels neglected the same way that if you're in a relationship with somebody and you say you love them, but you never spend time with them, how do they feel? They don't really feel like you really care about them, and there's some hard feelings there. So that inner disturbance that you have inside that's always driving you to look for yourself out here in the world, it's never enough because again, you're just sort of leaving yourself alone at the end of the day. So it's perfectly natural that people live their lives that way because their senses are pointing outwards. So you're looking at the world for all the information about who you are and if you're good enough and all that. So So you look outside yourself for everything. If you don't know yourself, if you don't spend time with yourself, how can you love yourself? Well, what are the benefits of how, well, first of all, how do you spend time with just yourself? One of the easiest ways to do this is to meditate, because when you meditate, you systematically calm down your compulsive need to get into other things. You're more comfortable listening to the voice of your emotions and your intuition, and this sense of peace comes over you really because you're making peace with yourself, because you're making time for yourself. Does that make sense? Just like any relationship, you want to make improvements in any relationship, you find ways to spend more time with the person and spend more time listening to them. So loving yourself is exactly the same way. There's really no mystery to it. If you've ever gone in and turned around a romantic relationship, you know how to do this with yourself. You do the exact same thing. So you cut out all the activities, and the beauty of meditating is that it will even diminish the thinking that you do. Because when you're with your thoughts are just reimaginings of the things that you've seen and heard out there in the world. They're still a distraction from sort of that feelingness. You want to feel your own inner being. And that gives you a sense of self-love. And what comes from that, but the reason it's uncomfortable is because the first thing that comes up is you feel a lot of pain. That's the pain of the untended garden of your mind, if you will. You've been living outside and you ignoring your own self. Well, weeds grow on their own if you think of yourself as a garden. Weeds grow on their own, but beautiful flowers take care and attention and time. So at first you look within yourself and you feel a lot of pain and discomfort. Do I know Kyrgyzstan? Yes, I do know the country of Kyrgyzstan. Is that where you're from? Welcome. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. I'm not going to butcher it, but welcome from Kyrgyzstan. Very nice to hear from you. So at first it's difficult because you've ignored it naturally. Your senses are extroverted by nature. But when you turn them inwards, once you get past that initial discomfort, you feel an amazing sense of calm and also self-confidence. Because when you know yourself, it's hard to let the outside world tell you otherwise. Like when you know from experience who you are, what your values are, where you're coming from, and where you're at in life and where you're going, it's very hard to let things that are happening on the outside shake that in you. So when more you get in tune with yourself, the more that naturally surfaces, because you're, again, you're giving your attention to yourself, where it belongs, first and foremost. The quality of the attention you can give to other people really depends on the quality of the attention that you know how to give yourself. Meditation will do that for you. When you find a qualified teacher, I teach meditation also, you have to find a teacher who resonates with you. If you resonate with me, if you're listening to this, of course you can get in touch with me as well. The other way is that you can love yourself more, do things that get you out of your head. Do things that make you stop thinking about how you look, how you sound, and if you're good enough. And the easiest way to do that is to focus on serving the needs of others. Because if you really are just imagine for a moment that if you were in a movie theater and you learned that the whole movie theater was burning down, you would not be at all self-conscious. Let's say nobody knew that there was a fire, but you knew. You would feel completely comfortable. I think everybody is like this. You would feel totally comfortable running up in front of the movie screen and yelling over the sound of the movie, get out of here, the building's on fire, you're in danger, or telling the security or whatever. You wouldn't worry for a second about, do I look okay? Are they going to judge me? Do they think I'm stupid? What if I'm not good enough? All these things that go through your head. So when you focus on, again, serving the needs of other people, it gets you out of your head, it gets you feeling less self-conscious. And every time you do that for yourself, you like yourself a little bit more, you have more confidence in yourself, and you're less judgmental towards yourself because, again, your attention is not on the superficial qualities about you, like let's say your past or your appearance or your abilities. Stop looking at those things. Look at how you can address the needs of the things that are in your life, and when you come back from taking care of those things at the end of the day and at the beginning of the day again, you give time and energy to yourself, first and foremost. Just like when you're on an airplane and they say that when you have the air masks come down, you put yours on first before you go take care of other people. So in the beginning and the end of the day, you give just a little bit of time, however much time you have, Just start with the time you do have. Don't worry about how you're going to make so much time, because that will discourage you. And focus on the idea that you are a being of infinite energy and potential and power, and you're capable of absolutely anything. Look at the highest achievers of humanity and understand that you're capable of everything they've done and more. However, to make changes in the outside world, you can have a thought instantly, but to translate that into reality out there in the world of time, space, matter, and causation, it always takes time and effort. For a thought to become a thing, for your potential to become realized, and for your life to reflect the vast, limitless potential of your inner being, just understand up front that there will be an incubation period where that idea has to be nurtured and tended to and reinforced and supported and given lots of love before it can manifest. But it will by law and by faith. Hope that's helped you guys today. Please contact me at J_S_Khalsa, Khalsa, for more information about what I can do for you on a one-on-one basis. And until next time, have a beautiful weekend. We'll see you tomorrow, and God bless. All the best.